So apparently Devontae Adams' wish list contains the Jets and the Saints. Come on, anywhere but the Saints. Please, Devontae, for the love of God, just go to the Jets or stay with the Raiders or go to the Jets. Come on. And then also, Von Miller was suspended for violating a policy it was assault. Vaughn, can you not? Vaughn, you were having such a solid season so far, but that's not okay. Come on, Vaughn, really? And then Jared Goff gets the game ball a day later. I guess better later than never, I suppose. But he should have gotten the game ball to begin with. Dan Campbell, what the hell was that? Anyways, guys, welcome back to Grizzly Talks Football. We got Week 5 NFL predictions today. Obviously, there is a mix once again. We got a couple of teams on bye week. We got the Philadelphia Eagles, LA Chargers, Detroit Lions, and Tennessee Titans on bye this week. And also, if you haven't already, if you enjoy the playlist, I will leave a link in the description so that you guys will be able to catch up and get to the latest video and also have it for future videos whenever I post them, which will be every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So yeah, be sure to check that link out and be sure to watch every episode so you're all caught up. And if you still haven't, 92% of you aren't subscribed yet, there's a red button down there, just click it. Click. Just click the subscribe. Don't spam it, just click it once. Tap the bell so you don't miss a video, and be sure to give this video a like, and let's get straight into the predictions. Let's go! Up first, we have the Thursday night matchup in the NFC South Division. We have the 3-1 Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the 2-2 Atlanta Falcons in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Key injuries for this game for the Falcons, it's Caleb McGarry. That's the one that people aren't expecting to play. And for the Bucs, it's on the offense, Luke Gadecki, and on the defense, Kalish Cansey and Antoine Winfield. The Bucs have been on a roll the first 3 weeks. The Falcons are iffy, some good, some bad. Last week it was a bad game for Kirk, but the defense really bailed us out. The only positives we have over the Bucs is passing defense, not by much, and rushing offense, not too much either. But Algier has been a very strong power back. Bijan needs to get more involved in the rushing game, but he is turning into a good receiving back. Well, at least decent in the way. Because other than passing defense and rushing offense, Tampa Bay beats us in every other category like passing offense, scoring offensive defense, third down conversions, and turnover battle is won by Tampa Bay. The spread in this game is Atlanta by 1.5, but I think that's complete bullshit. Yeah, no way we covered that spread. I'm going to go with the same strategy that I've usually done. If you guys don't know, every time I pick the Falcons to win, they lose. Almost every time I pick the Falcons to lose, they win. Hoping that'll be the case, but I see Tampa Bay winning in a close game. I'm thinking maybe they win by 3. Kicking off the Sunday slate, we have the Sunday morning game in London between the New York Jets and the Minnesota Vikings. Key inactives this game most likely are going to be Morgan Moses on the offense for the Jets. So Olaf Fashanu will get a chance to start this week. And on the Vikings, we have Ivan Pace on defense. And New York Jets defense, we have CJ Mosley out. These are just projected players that won't be playing. I am using Rlads for the depth charts. If you want to check that site out, go to rlads.com and search the team you want to look at the depth chart for and see which players will be starting and which players are either injured or sitting behind them. I gotta say, this could be a sneaky good game. For a London game, the first one of the year, this could be a really good game. Let me just say the Vikings have been a very surprising team this year. So far, they are 4-0. And their defense looks solid. Sam Darnold looks like an MVP candidate. You can't go wrong with the Vikings here, especially when you have guys like Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison racking up receiving yards, and Aaron Jones taking care of the rushing game. The pass defense does leave more to be desired because Jordan Love had a heck of a game against the Vikings defense last week when in a loss to the Vikings 31-29. As for the Jets, they are coming off an abysmal game against the Broncos when the score was 10-9, when there was only one touchdown all game. Like, come on, Jets. How do you lose to the Denver Broncos when they have 60 passing yards all game? These two defenses are actually very solid right now. They actually have the second best passing defense. The Jets do, and the Vikings have the second best rush defense, but the worst pass defense? As far as putting up points, the Vikings are better than the Jets in that category, but scoring defense, they have not allowed points. So I think this is going to be a defensive battle to see which quarterback will figure out the defense better. I think Aaron Rodgers has a lot of experience with the Vikings defense. Sam Darnold hasn't faced the Jets defense yet this season, and that's probably going to be the toughest defense he has to face so far this season. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I think Sam Darnold is going to find a way to win yet another game, this time at home against the New York Jets. I see Sam Darnold having a pretty solid game, especially with guys like Justin Jefferson and Aaron Jones to give the ball to, and the Vikings defense will try to keep Aaron Rodgers in check. I think this will be a close game. I'm hoping it's high scoring, but, not everything can come out when you have the Jets and Vikings playing each other, especially Aaron Rodgers with how familiar he is with the Vikings. Anyways, I see Vikings winning, I would say maybe by 4 points. Oh yeah, and by the way, week 4, it was like mid at best for me. I went 7-9 that week, so my total record for this season so far is 33-31. I need to get some wins badly. I think the Vikings are going to help me out, hopefully. Sam Darnold, I know I haven't believed in you, but I'm hoping you can play well against the Jets. To kick off the Sunday afternoon slate at 1 o'clock, the 1 o'clock slate should I say, we have the Carolina Panthers going to Soldier Field to take on the Chicago Bears. This was such a hype QB battle at the beginning of the season for no reason. It was like supposed to be Bryce Young versus Caleb Williams, but one of those guys got benched. I will say, last week Caleb Williams looked good against the Rams defense, and the defense of the Bears, man, if you thought they were good against the Rams, imagine how they would do against the Panthers. No offense to the Panthers and Andy Dalton, but I feel like the Bears defense is going to eat him alive, and Caleb Williams is going to do enough to put up points for the Bears, and I see the Bears winning, I would say by 9. Up next, we have the Cleveland Browns traveling to Washington to play the Washington Commanders. Let me just say, the Browns have 5 inactives, like players who probably won't be playing, especially 2 on the offensive line. They also have David Njoku hurt, Jordan Hicks is out, and Martin Emerson's probably not going to play. For Washington, the inactives include Nick Allegretti on the offensive line, and Cleveland Farrell on the defense, and Austin Eckler at running back. The injuries are too much for the Browns to bear, and also the poor play of Deshaun Watson is really starting to hurt this team a lot. I can't believe I had faith in this team. I see Commanders winning. I will say, if the Browns decide to bench Deshaun Watson for Jameis Winston, I see this game being a little bit closer than people say. But if he's not going to be benched and he is going to be starting, I see Washington winning by 13 points. Jay Daniels has looked like an NFL quarterback so far this season. Well, at least the last 2 games, but he has been leading the Commanders to some points, and he has also been leading them to committing no turnovers, and he is probably one of the best rising stars so far this season. But yeah, the Browns are in football hell right now. They have too many injuries, to a tight end, 2 offensive linemen, and 2 key defenders. And Washington doesn't have too much, but Cleveland Farrell being out on the defensive line is a big concern. Austin Eckler being out as well, it's not too bad because they do have Brian Robinson, but it kind of brings up a big question mark. Like, is the running game going to get stalled out because of Eckler's injury? I wouldn't say so. And also, Jamison Crowder's hurt, but he's like that 4th receiver, so it's not too big of a deal. But I see Washington winning by 13 in this game. Up next, we have the Miami Dolphins traveling to Foxborough to play the New England Patriots. Why? Why is this a thing? Why did Sunday afternoon have to have such a shit show? I gotta say, the Dolphins look a lot worse than people are saying. Ever since Tua went down with a concussion, 4th time in a couple years, like, the Dolphins have never been the same. Like, their offense is horrible. Like, it's bad. And the fact they have too many injuries, especially on defense, and especially to Terran Armstead as well, yeah, there's no chance Miami has against New England. I see New England winning by 10 points, but it's going to be a very bad game. Up next, we have an AFC South divisional match between the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let me just say, these two teams have a ton of injuries on their teams. I'm not going to go too in-depth in there. For Indianapolis, it's like Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor would have had kind of a hard time against Jacksonville's rushing defense, but Jacksonville has a ton of defensive injuries, which, oh boy, yeah, this is going to be ugly. Especially with Joe Flacco throwing the football, saying that he is still a good QB, like a decent backup. Like, he could fill in for anybody who's, like, injured. Yeah, he proved that against the Colts, and he's going to do it again against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville is worse than Pittsburgh. Come on. Colts are going to win this, I would say, by 14 points or more. I would say at least 14 points the Colts win against the Jags. And Jacksonville's losing streak will continue, sadly. Up next, we had the Buffalo Bills traveling to NRG Stadium to take on the Houston Texans. Now, this is a game I can actually enjoy. Thanks, NFL, for this one. This will be a lot better than the Dolphins and Patriots, I will tell you that. Like, both offenses are really, really good. Like, the Bills have, like, minor injuries to, like, players that aren't necessarily contributing as much. I mean, Terrell Bernard and Taylor Rapp are injured. Those are two defensive starters, but there are some more playmakers out there. And as for Houston, they lost Laramie Tunsil. They still don't have Tank Dell or Joe Mixon in there either. I know Jimmy Ward is the other starter that's out, but it's not really too much of a big deal for Houston's defense. I believe Houston's down to Dare Ogunbowale as their third string running back because Damian Pierce is also injured. So maybe he won't be as impactful as he was against Jacksonville because this is Buffalo, by the way. If Von Miller's also suspended, so AJ Epineza has to start at defensive end in place of him. All jokes aside, I think Houston will play well, but the Bills just have too much firepower that are healthy weapons, and also defenders that can make some big plays. Yeah, I see Buffalo winning, I believe by 7 or 6. 6 or 7 points, I see Bills winning this one on the road. No offense to Houston, but I think Josh Allen, James Cook, and the rest of the Buffalo offense is really going to dice up Houston's defense. I mean, Houston will have to worry about sacking Josh Allen more than anything and stopping the run, but the passing game is going to be killer for Houston's defense because Josh Allen can throw the ball, and guys like Khalil Shakir, he should be playing. Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid, and a lot of other players, Keon Coleman. Yeah, I think Bills win this one. It will be close though. And the final game for the Sunday 1 o'clock slate is the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Cincinnati Bengals in an AFC North clash. Now this game could be a little bit interesting because, man, here's two different stories. One team is very good at rushing and the other is very good at passing. The only injury for Baltimore is Michael Pierce. Not going to hurt him too much, but the fact that Cincinnati has their best nose tackles out, it's really going to be concerning because the rushing defense is going to get a lot worse. The Ravens are a rushing team, so they will absolutely decimate that rushing defense. And as far as passing, Baltimore struggled with defending the pass, but Joe Burrow he really pulled it together against the Panthers. With Jamar Chase, he had a much better game than he had the past 3 games that he had. He finally got a win. This really comes down to which offense will have the ball last. I think the Ravens will be the one to have the ball last. They have a good rushing defense. Good rushing offense and defense. Actually, the best in both categories. Yeah, so Zach Moss and Chase Brown will probably be held to less yards, and like when they have a lead, their rushing game will be absolutely killer in running the clock down. If the Ravens get to a lead, the Bengals will not be able to catch up. That's just that simple. I say the Ravens win by 6. And Joe Burrow and that passing offense will make it close though. Don't get me wrong on that. But I see Ravens winning regardless. To kick off the 4 o'clock slate for Sunday, we have the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Broncos in an AFC West clash. Denver is coming in with a healthy squad for the most part, but the Raiders, yikes, not that at all. 2 offensive linemen, Devontae Adams and Max Crosby, are among the starters that are injured. I might be a clown for saying this, but despite the Raiders having such a very much better look than the Broncos do, I see Denver winning this one. I would say by 3 points. I don't think it will be very high scoring. It's Minshew versus Knicks. Minshew does not have Devontae Adams on the team, really. He's expected not to play, because if he is not playing, there's also Michael Mayer who's injured. That's why Brock Bowers is there. I see Denver shutting down that passing game and rushing game. Raiders don't really have one too much. I don't see the Broncos looking uncomfortable in that rushing defense. I see Broncos winning by 3 points, though, because of the offensive struggles that have happened. But I think Denver wins and gets above 500. Up next, we have the Arizona Cardinals taking on the 49ers. Cardinals don't have too many injuries except for Trey McBride, which is a pretty significant loss, but then the 49ers got hit hard with the Fred Warner injury and the Talanoa Hufanga injury. They also had a defensive lineman injured, but I don't think the Niners are going to break too badly. They will kind of struggle at the beginning with Marvin Harrison still being him. We've seen crazier things happen. Cardinals did not look good against the Commanders, and I don't see them looking good against the Niners either. I say Niners win by 10 in this one, despite the injuries on defense. Jordan Mason's going to have a good game. Like, the entire offense is healthy, except for CMC, of course. But I see the 49ers winning. I think CMC needs to be out for the season because of what I've heard about him having something going on in both of his Achilles. Like, this could be career-threatening at this level, but I would say he's done for the year. But despite that, the 49ers, I believe they win by 10 in this game. Double digits at least. Come on, Niners, make it happen. Up next, we have the New York Giants playing the Seattle Seahawks. Let me just say, holy shit, the Seattle Seahawks have a ton of defensive injuries in this game. I see Devin Singletary having a good game, but without Malik Neighbors, I do not see the Giants having any shot at all. Because the Seahawks are going to be firing, and they're going to be firing at will. They're going to be firing as many times as possible against the Giants. I think the Giants can make it close. I would say like 6 points will be the difference in this game. But Seattle will definitely win this game for sure in a high-scoring affair. Thanks to the injuries due to Seattle's defense, the Giants will put up some points, so Daniel Jones will actually look good. In the final game of the Sunday 4 o'clock slate, we have the Green Bay Packers taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Yeah, there's just no way the Packers lose this game to the Rams. I mean, come on, really? You're really going to think that Jordan Love, coming back from injury, or Malik Collins is going to lose to the Rams? Really? Yeah, no, Packers win by 13 at least. Passing game will keep the Rams in it, but there's just no chance they're stopping anybody on the Packers. Josh Jacobs, that rushing game on the Packers is going to have a field day. Like, passing game is going to look good. I just see Packers all around looking good against the Rams. Like, there's just no way Rams even have a chance. Now we have our Sunday night matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Scooter Magruder's squad versus Your Name Tree's squad. Wow, this is going to be a war. Key inactives that are supposed to not play. Cowboys have Micah Parsons and Kalen Carson not playing, and Steelers have Alex Highsmith. Passing-wise, Dallas has looked good, but rushing-wise, not so much. Pittsburgh's defense is going to be a problem. It's just the only concern is really if Justin Fields is going to really play like a winner. I do have him in fantasy because Jalen Hurts is hurt or on bye and Taysom Hill is injured. I'm really hoping that Justin Fields can do well this week, especially on Sunday night against Dallas. The fact that Michael Parsons might not even play is really bad news for Dallas. Regardless of whether or not Dallas is favored or not, I still got Pittsburgh Steelers winning this game, bouncing back from a loss to the Indianapolis Colts. I see Steelers winning. Justin Fields looks like an NFL quarterback again. And finally, we have the Monday Night Football matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead. Key inactives for both these teams. For the Chiefs, it's Rashee Rice, and for the Saints, oh dear, Cesar Ruiz. Oh, I'm trying to remember. Demario Davis and Tyrann Mathieu are hurt for the Saints. There was also one of the offensive linemen for the Saints that was on IR. I cannot remember his name. Yeah. It was somebody really big for the Saints. I just can't remember right now. Both offenses look solid, but the fact that the Saints have some key players out like Davis and Mathieu, that's going to really hurt that defense against Kansas City. Yeah, I'm sorry. I see Carson Steele, I mean, he'll have a solid game, but the passing offense for Kansas City, oh boy. Yeah, good luck with that, New Orleans. I see you guys keeping it close, but I see Kansas City winning by 9. Patrick Mahomes will have his best game this season. Same with Travis Kelce. Xavier Worthy will have some touchdowns. Yeah, Kansas City wins this one. And that is going to do it for the Week 5 NFL predictions in this episode of Grizzly Talks Football. Once again, if you have enjoyed this playlist so far, I'll leave a link in the description. And also be sure to give this episode a like. Be sure to hit the red subscribe button. Like I said, it's down there. And also hit the bell so you don't miss a video. Anyways, until Week 5 of college football, Week 6 in college football. Yeah, we're at different weeks. Week 6 of college football, Week 5 of the NFL. Until the college football stuff, and until next time, I will see you soon. Peace.